So I decided to break from my 1960s anime project to review Cyberpunk Edgerunners, since the 2077 game is my second favorite RPG, just under Mass Effect. If you're wondering if Edgerunners is safe to watch before 2077, I'd say yes, since both follow different characters and neither spoil the other. Still, it's better if you play the game. As you can see, most of my viewers liked the anime before playing 2077, however, I believe they'd have a greater appreciation for the anime after playing the game. Without prior knowledge, you'll enjoy the character drama and visuals, but may be confused about exposition. Edgerunners is not just a self-contained entry in the cyberpunk sci-fi subgenre. Instead, it's a part of a franchise dating back to the late 80s steeped in history and culture. Although I can't speak for the tabletop RPG, my 400 hours in 2077 allowed me to appreciate the anime's immaculate attention to detail. Nearly every episode hits with nostalgia, as picture-perfect scenery reminds me of specific locations I enjoyed exploring. Edgerunners is so atmospheric it feels like they recreated drone footage as digital paintings to make the environment as accurate as possible. In the flash of an eye, you'll see minor details insignificant to the plot but thoroughly explained to the game. This shows peerless attention to detail in crafting a faithful representation. Furthermore, there's organizations, gangs, tertiary characters, technology, and slang presented with the expectation that you already know what they are. Thankfully, there's enough context clues for the uninitiated to gain a vague understanding. As for its story, Edgerunners follows an upper-middle-class teen who reluctantly becomes entangled with the gang. Plot progression is tied to increasingly dangerous missions delegated by a wealthy and mysterious elite with ties to Militech, the world's strongest private military. Although jobs are a regular occurrence, they're not the story's focal point. Instead, it's almost a subplot, taking a back seat to character interaction and internal struggle. I liked how there's no predefined antagonist, so human nature becomes their greatest obstacle. It's a hyperbolic example of technology advancing faster than our ability to live with it. Who bothers with mental health, personal development, and living a healthy lifestyle when you can just amputate your insecurities in exchange for steel? The only problem is that you can't download maturity. This results in a city of irresponsible brains inside human-shaped tanks committing crimes to afford their downward spiral into insanity. While its morals are faithful to the game, I love this depiction of technology as a drug because it's a perspective we rarely see in anime. Surprisingly, they were also faithful to the emotional roller coaster that was 2077 despite being less than 1/10 its length. Unfortunately, I can't show or say much due to how eventful and dynamic its plot and characters are. You'll see why in episode 1. However, its fast-paced, dark narrative excels in tragedy and violence counterbalanced by romance and humor. Every primary character has some depth and development as they react to its chaotic and uncertain plot filled with death and treachery. Its action was also faithful to 2077 with an added anime flair. So when you see limbs transforming into menacing weapons, eviscerating their enemies, or groups eliminated in slow motion, just know these are gameplay elements. However, Edgerunners features a more extreme power creep towards its final act, dramatically surpassing gameplay. Overall, Edgerunners is not perfect, but it's probably one of the most memorable shows you'll see this year. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. If you like exciting, intriguing, and emotional anime, you can't pass this one up, especially for its jaw-dropping conclusion. Odds are you'll enjoy it without context, but as an anime enthusiast, I want you to have the best experience possible, and I also want you to play the game. Not to invalidate anyone's experiences, but I had a fantastic time with the game at launch on a then 5-year-old PC. Sure, there were bugs and glitches, but I enjoyed them and even exploited some of them in order to enjoy the game more. I even went outside of the map and explored some of the developer areas for a couple hours, like around the map. It was just so much fun doing that. It was a great game then, and it's an even better game now. So if you've got a modern console or decent PC, I recommend checking it out next time it's on sale. So what are your thoughts on Edgerunners? Thanks to those listed here for supporting these videos on Patreon, and Nia-chan for 3rd tier Patreon support. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.